Jai Hind everyone, welcome again to the Patriotic IAS. Let's start our IAS PCSwala Delhi current affairs, and today we have five major topics that is relevant for the UPSC and the state PCS. So let's see that what are the topics that we are going to discuss in the detail. The first topic it is on the editorial page, and it is talking about the PMLA, a law that has lost its way. So here we will see that how this Prevention of Money Laundering Act. This act has become very much into the news and public domain because of the lot of arrest that has been done by this PMLA law. So here we will see that what was the originated motive, what was the goals and aim under this law, and how it has changed. So this will be the first topic. There is the detailed analysis, and we will do a answer writing practice on this question and this topic. Okay. So this will be the first topic. Then we will discuss the no man's land playing the politics over the Kacha Thiu Island. So here it is the debate point between the ruling party and opposition party, that how this was given to Sri Lanka and how it was seceded. So there is a lot of discussion. It is on the front page as well as on the editorial news. So this will be for the mains perspective, that how the polity and international relations should not be mixed with each other. Then we will study again on the editorial news, the solar surge. Here we will discuss that how there is the order for the requirement of the registration of those manufacturers who want to go into the manufacturing for the solar panel or the photovoltaic cell. So it will be under the GS paper 3 science and technology, as well as our environmental commitment and how we are going to perceive that. So again, it will be for the mains perspective. Then again, it is the AI, use of the artificial intelligence, that is going to be into the elections and how it is going to change the outcome. We have seen that there has been the use of technology such as the telephone calls, social media, mass mobile, all these things we will study into a very detailed manner. Use of this science and technology into the electoral process. Again, it will be for the mains, and very probable chances that the UPSC can make a question on the mains as well. Okay. Last, it will be a speech that put on the India on the global stage. Here it is with respect to the disarmament and particularly the partial test ban treaty that was signed into the 1963. It will also show that how the leadership can project a nation. Even the militarily we are not that much stronger, but morally we were stronger, and under the leadership of the then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, we put India's assertiveness at the global stage, and we got the success when this treaty was signed. Again, it will be for the mains, different area we can use, essay, ethics, GS paper 2, international relation, all where we can use. Okay. Let's start with the first news that is from the front page. So let's start this news. The front page, this is the fight, this is the debate, this is the conflicting point between the Congress and the BJP. BJP is accusing Congress of the ceding away this Kacha Thiu island to the Sri Lanka, and Congress is responding back that already your report of your reply into the Right to Information Act 2015, your reply into the 2015 under the Right to Information Act shows that your position was also that this was not under the India's sovereignty, and that's why we have given under the agreement, and that agreement was justified. You took the stand that yes, there was the better and stronger claim from the Sri Lanka, and that's why we give to the agreement. So this was the agreement that was done. First it was 1974, and further it was 1976. Here the BJP government, the foreign minister has accused that not only seceded but also gave the right of the fisherman to fish in that area. So this is all about here. There is the detailed analysis on the editorial page. We will study all this on the editorial page as well. Okay. So here there is the counter claim from the different perspective, and yes, many of the diplomats, they said that please don't bring the politics into the international relation and the diplomacy, because you have to pay a very strong price, very high price, if there will be the deterioration of the relationship between India and Sri Lanka. This is the case. Okay. Again, continuous strike from the Israel. This now the strike is into the Syria and into the Syria on the consulate of the Iran. So this is the thing you should know, just basic thing. The next important news that is here, the picture is given of the Mundakala into the Kollam. So Kollam beach is very beautiful. If you find the time, you should go and you should enjoy the beautiful beach. And there is the Shiv temple as well there. That is just around, just on the shore of the beach. That is very beautiful. Okay. So here you should know what is the important about the Mundakala. It is the famous for the cashew processing activities. It is known as the capital of India's cashew processing activities, and it is also known for the Karikidaka Wavu Bali festival. So here this is the rituals under that. What is done there is the people who offer the Bali to the departed soul. Okay, souls. This is the main thing you should know. So Mundakala, this is known for the capital of the cashew processing, and it is famous for the Karkidaka Wavu Bali festival. So this you should remember. Okay. On the front page again, there is one more news that is with respect to Supreme Court decision with respect to the Gyan Vapi. Here the Supreme Court has said that please maintain the status quo, as already there has been the lower court has allowed for the worship offering by the Hindu priest, and it is into the Tehkhana, so that will be continue, and the Muslims are allowed for their prayers, and yes, they can use the other part of the mosque. Okay, so here it is already given that they don't want to go back. There is the controversy with respect to the finding and discovery of the shivlings. The Muslim side is saying that this is the structure. This structure is the fountain, not the shivling. Okay, so here the main issue is with respect to the how this temple was brought. So the thing is that Hindu side is claiming that the entire area of this Gyanvapi mosque that belong to, this belong to the Swambhu Lord Adi Visweswar. Okay, and since it is Satyug, not the from this yug, but Satyug, that is the when the Ram was there. So Visweswar, it is from the this Lord Adi Visweswar. So you should remember this, and this is considered that this was brought down by the Farman of Emperor Aurangzeb into the 1696. So this is all about, this is a different side is putting their own argument and own viewpoint. So you should know just basics about this thing. Next important news, again, this is with respect to the demand for the tax IT department from the Congress for its collection is received. So now it is received, it is asking for the 3,500 crore from the Congress. But into this news, as per this, the government and IT department has said that they are not going to take any of the coercive decision or the activities as there is the election, and we don't want to spoil and give any message that we are acting against of the any party. So as per the Solicitor General Tushar Mehta stated that since election is going on, we do not want any problem to arise for any political party. So we are not going to take any of the coercive action till now. This demand is from the that was the tax liability between the 2014 to 2016-17, and initially it was considered that the tax liability is 1745. Now they are asking for the 3567, and already there was they have taken 135 crore from the attachment of the property of the party. Okay, so this is all about from this news. That is not that much important. This is just a basic information you should know. Next important news that we are going to take is from the editorial page, and this is the first article. This is the holistic article on the PMLA, Prevention of Money Laundering Act, and it's talking about that a law that has the lost its way. It means that the purpose of the law was something else, but now it has changed to the some other position, some other status. The writer is the PDT Acharya. He is a former Secretary General of the Lok Sabha. So it is talking about the how its origin was something else and now how it has changed. So here we will talk about this law and what is the origin, what stand now it has. So let's see that first we should start with the basics, that what is the PMLA, Prevention of Money Laundering Act. So first we will break the word. This is the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. So here the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. So here the word that come is the what is the laundering. Laundering means you wash your cloth and you change the color. It is the old, now you make it the looks like the new. So this is the laundering. How it's happened with the whenever there is the illegal money that is not considered as the illegal, and it cannot be entered into the normal track of the banking channel or the officially it can be transacted. You change its position by the different mean, and by that you make it the viable for the transaction by the official means or the banking channel. Take simple example. What is the money laundering? Okay. For here, if you will go to the its historical context, so it was mainly this money laundering act. It was at the global level. It was discussed when there was a huge drug trafficking and the money coming from the illegal drugs. Okay, so the leaders and the different nations, they collectively thought that if such money that will be there in a huge manner and that will be entered in as the legitimate money that can create a threat for the stability of the financial situation or the financial system of a country, and not only of a country but across the world. Okay. So this was the case. So this was mainly to stop the money laundering into the area of the drug trafficking. What was the case of the money laundering? Just take an example that how we can say that what is the money laundering. So here a person that is doing the drug trafficking and he earns 100 crore, okay, by the drug trafficking. But this is the illegal money because he went to the different drug addict and sold into the cash money, maybe a small packet into the 10,000, 20,000. That person is the drug addict, cannot prevent, that avoid such situation. He give the 10,000 and he took the a very small packet that is illegally it was traded across the border. Okay, so here this person after selling all this drug earned 100 crore, but this cannot, he cannot go into the legal market and cannot buy anything. So he have to turn this illegal money into the legal money. There are the different ways. Just discuss. I am going to discuss a simple way. What he can do, he can just buy a plot. This plot is of the 50 crore, but he will go and to the seller and make a deal that you just so that you have sold it into the 10 crore, I will give you the 50 crore to you, but you have to show that just it is of the 10 crore. Such type of the thing that is being done because it is beneficial to the seller as well. Seller will save its tax money, tax that is given. So this is the conversion of the one illegal money into the other illegal money. But understand that this will sell into the 50 crore, but it will take the 10 crore as the legal. So that person will go and show that, okay, 10 crore that I have given to the this seller, I have purchased this land, but he has given the 50 crore. Again, he will build up a society, a high-rise building complex, something like that, and he have invested 40 crore into the making this building, but he will show that I have just invested 10 crore. So he will show the 20 crore he have invested, but in original he had invested 80 crore. Okay. Now what he will show, how he will show this 80 crore. Now he will start selling this flat property into the this high rise building into the maybe 80 lakh per flat, and he will sell all the 100 flat, and maybe he will earn the 90 crore. Now this money he will take into the legal means, and now he will show that this is my profit of the investment making this high-rise building and selling all this flat to the different owners. So by the 20 crores he will earn the 90 crores, but in originally he has invested 80 crores. So this 60-70 crore that will become the legal money. He can do for the all this in the such manner. Such type of the thing is done into the, this is the process by that we turn the illegal money into the legal money. This is the situation, this was the situation under that the global leader they meet and they decided to form a route through that we can prevent the illicit trafficking into the narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances. Okay, so United Nations Convention against this was held into the 1988. They decided that there should be the sum of the way, and as a result into the 1989 Financial Action Task Force was constituted, and it was mainly after the summit of the G7 countries that was submitting, their summit was into the Paris, and after that this institution was built up to prevent the money laundering. Okay. So this was the 1989. After that, Supreme Court not, the United Nations in its convention asked the government of different countries to please bring some of the laws to fulfill this act. Okay. So this was done into the UN General Assembly, that was the political declaration and the global program of the action into the 1990s. Okay. And after that in India, due to this pressure to fulfill this declaration under the United General Assembly, we brought the Money Laundering Act of 2002. So our Indian law comes into the 2002, and it was mainly to prevent the drug trafficking and misuse of that money. Okay. So it was, the law was legislated by bringing different provision of the Indian Penal Code. Now it is the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, and the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985. Already we had some type of the acts that was addressing the money laundering, but a very specific law that is totally targeting on the money laundering was brought into the 2002, and the main purpose was to stop the drug trafficking and the money that is being originated from out of this money laundering. Okay. So again, the main purpose of this act was to prevent the illegal money, illegitimate money that is coming from the drug trafficking. But gradually there was the addition of the other crime. Okay. So the laundering crime proceeds, which include the funds derived from the criminal activities and other thing that was added. Okay. Now we have the Money Laundering Act that include not only the money laundering, but also it has included the terror financing. If there is any terrorist activities and there is the financing that is originated from any of the person, they will be filed, there will be the case on the basis of the Money Laundering Act. So this was the thing that was brought. Okay. What was the basis of the constitutional provision? Article 253 that talk about whenever there is the need and there is the international law that has to be implemented into the India, the parliament can legislate and implement, even if that subject is within the state subject, despite the parliament has power to legislate. And that's why this article 253 becomes very important, because it gives the parliament power even if the subject is in the matter of the state list. You must be knowing that there is the schedule 7 that talk about the 3 lists, and the 3 list is for the parliament and the state legislature separately. For example, the state list where the subject that has mentioned into the state list that can be legislated by the state government. Center cannot do, center can do only in the exceptional cases, and this is the one of the exceptional case, that is Article 253. But it's talk about that such laws should be subject matter of the international decision. You cannot include by your own way. Okay, you cannot think and you can include anything. If you are making the legislation that you are going to implement the international law, you cannot include other thing that is not talking about in the that international decision or that international convention. So here one question mark that comes, that this now there is the expansion of this Prevention of Money Laundering Act, and that is beyond the law, that convention that was being discussed into the UN Assembly and UN Convention. Okay. Now there has been the change into this law. Now the Prevention of the Corruption Act 1988, that is aimed at the addressing the corruption among the public servant, was added to the PMLA, and it was done into the 2009. So this was not the part of the discussion of that convention, but the Prevention of the Corruption Act that was already there into the 1988. Now this is the part of the PMLA as well. The main debate point is that the clause under the PMLA is very harsh. It means that if you will be arrested under this law, you will not get the bail until and unless you will prove that you are innocent. Normally it is considered that until and unless the police prove that you are the guilty, you are considered as the innocent. So whenever the trial case that is going on for the 6 month, 12 month, 2 years, 10 years, 100 years, whatever the case, maybe in Indian judiciary it could be the case that 70 years after that judgment comes. Whatever the case is there, normally it is considered that you are innocent, and until and unless the police going to prove that you have done this crime. But under this Prevention of Money Laundering Act, it is that you will be, whenever you will be arrested, whenever there will be the case filed, at that particular time, you will be considered as the criminal. You will be not prove the innocent. You will be not getting the bail, because this is the non-bailable offense, means you have to there will be the easily you can be arrested and the judicial custody can be extended, and that's why there are so many cases we have seen that now it is the Chief Minister of the Delhi, the previous Chief Minister of the Jharkhand, all they are into the jail, and this is the law that is being used, and this is a very harsh law. This is talking about they have to prove their innocence to get even the bail. Okay, so that's become the pressure on the judge itself, that the judge cannot presume that this person is innocent until and unless there is a strong point. So if there is any of the ground, any of the point, if the police is going to give that yes, this person was involved in the money laundering, you will be continuously into the custody of the police. So this is the main thing. This particular clause of the bail was declared as the invalid by the Supreme Court, and what was the case? The name of the case was the Nikesh Tara Chand Shah versus Union of India case 2018. So it was considered that this is violating the Article 14 as well as Article 21, because there is the fundamental right to liberty and the life. You cannot put into the jail just by the allegation. That should be the proof, and only you could be put into the jail. After this judgment, Parliament was swiftly, it came into the activities, they changed the law, and again they brought it into the amended form. Okay, and under this new, again the case was there, this was the case, again the case went to the Supreme Court with the Vijay Madan Lal Chaudhary versus Union of India case 2022, last year, just 1 year back. This case was brought to the Supreme Court, and here the Supreme Court upheld the validity of this law. So this writer is talking about that this validity is not as per the originally a principle that was brought by the Justice Krishna Iyer into the 1978, when he talked that whenever you are deciding on the bill, you should be very cautious and you should be very much careful about the violation of Article 21. Okay, so this is all about from this news, why this article, this law is very harsh. This is the two cases you should remember. The first is the Nikesh Tarachand Shah versus Union of India case 2018. Then it is the Vijay Madan Lal Chaudhary versus Union of India case 2022. So this is the position. UPSC has asked many questions in the 2018. There was the question on the India's position and the use of this illicit money. So the question was the India's proximity to the two of the world's biggest illicit opium growing state has enhanced her internal security concern. Explain the linkage between the drug trafficking and the other illicit activities such as the gun running, money laundering, and human trafficking. What countermeasures should be taken to prevent the same? 250 words, 15 marks. It was asked into the 2018. The mainly it was the India's position. India is here, and there are the two centers of the drug production. The first is known as the Golden Crescent because it is making the crescent here, the Iran, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. If you will add the center of all these three countries, you will find the crescent moon. The second is the Golden Triangle, Laos, Myanmar, and the Thailand. Here there is the huge production of the illicit, illegal opium and the drugs, and that's why we see that there is the Urta Punjab into the India, because there is the easily availability, accessibility by the cross border, Pakistan at Afghanistan. The same is the illegal trafficking, illegal drug trade is into the northeastern India. So you have to write, you can write, you should be very careful about the Golden Crescent and the Golden Triangle. Maybe in the UPSC can ask into the prelims. One more thing you should know about the Financial Action Task Force, and you should know already we discussed that it was founded into the 1989 and it was culmination of the G7 summit into the Paris. So you should be very careful. Now it has the number of the jurisdiction is 200, and it is combating the money laundering, and also now it has been expanded to the terror financing as well. Here it is given. Okay, so mainly it is for the anti-money laundering and the counter-terrorist financing. There is the listing system, black list and the grey list. You should be very careful. What is the grey list? Grey list means that some of the countries, they are not following the rule to tackle the money laundering or the counter-terrorist thing. Okay. So there are the three countries you should remember, and they are the very famous. First is the Korea, North Korea, not the South Korea, North Korea, Iran, and this is the Myanmar. So these three countries you should remember. This is very important. The grey list is that the country is doing the thing, they are not denying directly, but yes, their laws are not that much weak and they are working to improve this law. Okay. So you should be very careful about the grey list and the black list. There are a lot of countries that are into the grey list. Recently we saw that UAE that came out of this grey list. Okay, Pakistan also came out of this grey list recently. It was into the grey list, or recently we saw that the Pakistan coming out of the grey list as well. So this is all about, you should remember, you can write again. There was one more UPSC mains question on the same issue, and we will try to write the answer. The second question that was recently asked into the UPSC mains 2021, and it is talking about the discuss how emerging technology and globalization contribute to the money laundering. Okay, elaborate the measure to tackle the problem of money laundering both at the national and international level. So you should start with the money laundering cases. Okay, so a recent surge into the technology such as the how the banking system we are using the technology, how we are using the technology into the digital currency mode, and we are also the technology into the different type of the transfer across the border as well, and the complex financial instrument. All this thing you can discuss, then you can bring the what are the solution. First, we need to bring the reform in the regulatory framework. You can give the example of the Indian regulatory framework, Money Laundering Act, and the different provision that is so much robust. After that, you should talk about the why international cooperation is important, because there is the cross-border activities. The person sitting into the some other area, they are interacting with the other area of the world, and there is the transfer of the money and transfer of the different illicit money. Okay. Then you can also talk about the public-private partnership, because the yes, we need to bring the private data. There is the different companies and they interact with this type of the illegitimate activities, and they convert the money from the black to white. So all this thing you can include, and after that you can conclude into the last. So this should be your main way of writing the answer. Okay. Now the next important news again we will take from the editorial, and this is from the No Man's Land, and it is about those in the power should not take the issue that affect the ties with the neighbors. So this is from the GS paper 2, and here it is talking about the India-Sri Lanka relations. Here this editorial is talking that for the political benefit you should not jeopardize the international relation. Here it is from this is the contextual background into the comment from the Prime Minister that this Kathachiu, or this is the Katha Katchathiu, this is the a small island that is now as part of the agreement between India and Sri Lanka. It was given to the Sri Lanka. So as per the Prime Minister, he claimed that this was given by the Congress in a very careless manner. So this editorial is talking about that for the personal benefit, for the use, for the winning the seats into the election, you cannot use the international relation, because you have to you have to pay a very huge cost for it. If you have to, if you will make the relation between India and Sri Lanka that is not into the bad label or the bad there should be, if there is the break into the relationship, and what if the Sri Lanka will be going closer to the China, it will be more costlier. So here, as per the editorial, already the Congress-led UPA government, they have proved that the decision that was taken to hand over this Katchathiu to the Sri Lanka, that was on the basis of the agreement, and there is the sound basis of the claim of the Sri Lanka. And this claim has already been accepted by the both government. Even the NDA, BJP-led NDA government, they accepted that the right on the Katchathiu is with the Sri Lanka, and both accepted that. If you will change the position, there will be the rift between the two countries. Okay. What was the main case? The claim was by the Sri Lanka as well as the Raja of the Ramnathpuram. During the government, during the prime ministership of the first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, already the case was there, the claim was there. There was the analysis of the claim of the Raja as well as the Sri Lanka, and after that it was found that the claim of the Sri Lanka is stronger, and that's why we give it to the Sri Lanka after the agreement, because this is not the ceding, this was given after the agreement, and even there has been the right of the Indian fisherman that has been protected by that government, that agreement. So it was into the 1974 and the 1976 when the agreement was done. Okay, so here into the last paragraph, the editorial is talking that it is good that if it is being discussed, or it is being accused by the local leader of the Tamil Nadu, so this is good. There is no such issue. But if the Prime Minister of India the personality and the dignitaries of that status, if the start claiming such thing, so this is not good for the international relation and India's relation with its neighbor, because we want our neighbors to support and they should be standing with the India. Despite India can compromise, India can give something extra to our neighbors. Only what we want the support at the international arena. Besides that, we want the stability and a stable relation between the India and the neighbors. And we want to cut out the Chinese angle or any interference into the neighborhood relation of the India and India's relation with the neighborhood. So this is all about from this news. Next important news that we are going to take is the solar surge, and this is with respect to the order that is from the government to implement the manufacturer requirement for the registration. So the main aim of this registration order is to restrict the imported solar panel and photovoltaic cell. This is the main thing, main aim of the government is that. Okay. So here what we need, there is need for the approved models and the manufacturers of the solar photovoltaic models. They need to requirement of the compulsory registration orders. This is the 2019, already it was notified, but this is going to be implemented from this financial year, from the 1st of the April. Okay. Why this is done? This is mainly done to restrict the imported panel, the cheap imported panel from the China. 80% of this imported panel is coming from the China, and India is suffering, Indian manufacturers are suffering because they are not able to compete into the price. Their price is very cheaper because the Chinese government policy. Okay. So be very careful about that. Who will give this certificate? It will be the National Institute of the Solar Energy. National Institute of the Solar Energy. Please remember this, because in the prelims they can ask who is going to provide the certification. It is the National Institute of the Solar Energy. Okay, I hope you are clear. Okay, why we need that? We need the high number of the solar panel and the photovoltaic cell, particularly to meet the commitment for the social development goal for the production of the non-fuel source and non-fuel electricity. Means those electricity that are produced by the non-crude oil or the non-fossil fuel source. What could be this? This could be the wind energy, solar energy, geothermal energy, biomass energy, where this petroleum products such as the crude oil or the coal, they are not needed. Okay. So here the aim of India is to achieve 500 gigawatt by the 2030. And out of this 500 gigawatt, that is from the all non-fuel resources. Okay, it could be the wind energy, solar energy, all that non-fossil fuel sources. But out of 500, 280 gigawatt we want to produce from the solar power, and that's why the solar cells and the photovoltaic cells become important. But the situation is that till now we are able to produce only 28 gigawatt. Okay, so here it is not 28, it is just 13 gigawatt, and it is due to the different impacts such as the COVID-19 pandemic. So this shows that we have lot of requirement. 30 gigawatt we have to achieve 280. Can you imagine what is the difference? It is the 20 times more than 20 times that is be needed. And in that case, we are going to improve the manufacturing capacity of the local manufacturer. Okay. But the thing is that, okay, we are going to with this registration, but there, if we will restrict the Chinese manufacturer, that doesn't mean that Indian manufacturer, they create the monopoly and they can compromise the quality. Quality should be matched, the quality should be improved, and quality should be higher of the standard. Besides, second thing, these manufacturers should be very much careful about the imposition of the price on the consumer. The consumers should not be face the high price or the due to the this restriction only manufacturer earning, and these consumers have to pay, because you and me are going to get installation, and the price of the electricity if increase, what will be the benefit? So this is the consideration that Indian manufacturers should be very careful. The most important thing is that certification is needed, and National Institute of the Solar Energy, that is the body that is going to certify. So you should remember all these things from this news article. All this is the major area. Next important news that we are going to take is the AI election, AI in election, and the good, the bad, and the ugly. So here it is talking about the role of artificial intelligence into the upcoming election. So here this article is discussing how the role of AI is going to be dominate the election scenario and election system. Already there has been an example. So basically it is talking about how the technology impact the electoral system. So technology impact the political system, political scenario. Here it is started with the how the Narendra Modi and BJP is going to use the AI, artificial intelligence, to translate the speeches and different activities of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi to reach the wider audience. For example, now the converted speech into the Telugu, or it could be into the Malayalam, that will impact those audience, those electorates in these regions where there is the lesser impact of the BJP and the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So here it is talking about there has been the already positive impact into the previous elections, such as into the 2014 and 2019. So here it is talking about always there has been the impact of the technology. For example, in 1990s, when the telephone calls started and it's become the prevalent into the society, so it was impacted because the faster dissemination of the news, and it was the faster dissemination of the information among the electorates and the people that impacted, whoever used this telephonic conversation and making this strategy in a very quick manner. For example, if there is in 1990s, if there is the one political leader and he immediately want to talk to the party leaders, party candidates and a cadre into the other part of the country, it was very easy. Okay, so we saw into the 2007 the mass mobile phones with everyone, and the messages that is disseminating the information and news. Again, this make the revolutionize the election process. Then come 2014, and as particular time there was the use of the social media such as the Facebook, Instagram, and a different thing. And by that time we saw that whoever have used this social media, and particularly the BJP, used in a very effective manner, and it's resulted into the outcome as well. For example, there is the research that has taken, and the research on this outcome of the Facebook likes that has found that there has been the positive outcome of this Facebook likes. Okay, so this is known as the Facebook election. 2014 election is known as the Facebook election. Here it was there is the research published by the Asian journal Political Science, so that there was the positive correlation between those who like the Facebook. Also there is the increase in the number of the vote into the favor of the BJP and the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Okay. 2019 election was known as the WhatsApp election because of the use of the WhatsApp into the making strategy. There was the creation of the groups, and that groups, there was the instant dissemination of the information of these groups, and the action was taken. And those who have managed this WhatsApp group in a better manner, they have the effective result. Now we see the AI, use of the AI into the 2024 election, and already there has been the such use into the Argentinian election process, and we have seen not just into the Argentinian election process, we also have seen into the India, into the recent assembly election into the Madhya Pradesh and the Telangana, and AI was used. Recently, there is the famous case that there was a AI generated the robot, and he in that particular the in the US, on the same mimicking the voice of the President Joe Biden, there was a robot conversation, and robot was trying to dissuade the people who are the supporting the Democrats that please don't go for the poll, don't go for the electoral booth. So this was the first misuse of this AI on a large scale. So here also we saw that there was the fake video of the AI generated content, and it was the video that was showing that the Trump, the previous president Donald Trump, was being arrested. So by that there is the fake, deep fake. Deep fake means the people, the robot, the AI will create the image and the video like the same, like the person, like the me, and mimicking everything like that. So the people will go and they will believe the conversation, all this thing, and by that they will react. There will be the impact of the outcome on the election process. So all this thing is being seen into the this AI generated content. So deep fake, and it was observed that into the Argentinian election as well. Okay. There is the amplification of the messages. Number of the messages AI will amplify, and it will amplify the trending thing. It will make the thing trending onto the social media as well. And this will not truth, but the people follow the trends. People follow the amplified the messages. If there is a huge number of the circulation, people believe that okay, this party is going to win. There is the favorable condition of the this party, and despite the people don't like the party, they will go for the voting the party because they are going to come into the power. There is the lot of benefit out of this if they will coming into the power. So all this thing we have seen into this. Okay. So AI roles in the election is extended beyond the dissemination of the information. Now they are helping into the creation of the strategy, content, and everything. They are helping into the different area. They are giving the real-time analytics of the what will be the situation, what will be the scenario into the different, and that's why they are improving the campaign performance as well. Okay. So we see that what are the all this use and misuse. So there is the potential as well as the challenge with the AI and into the use into the electoral system. And already we have seen that the major giants such as the Microsoft, Google, OpenAI, and Meta, all they are trying to prevent such deep fake and the misuse of this AI into the electoral process, and they already have created separate departments, separate fact checking, and they are preventing the making of the fake videos on the AI on the personal basis, or the whenever or the person eminent personality or the any of the leader. So this is the case, that is the safeguard that is being seen into this area. Okay. So yes, whatever the impact of this AI will be into 2024 election, but there will be the huge impact into the 2029 election, and by that time there will be the upgradation into the technology as well. So this is all about from this news article. Next important news that we are going to take is from a speech that put the India's on the global stage. It is with respect to the Nehru speech into the Parliament Lok Sabha, and in that speech it was reaction to the experiment of the nuclear test by the US, and it was considered as the strongest nuclear bomb and weapon at that particular time. So here it shows that this topic is very important. You can use it not only for the international relation where the nuclear disarmament is the topic, but you can also talk it under the post-independence India and the evolution of Indian diplomacy and India's foreign policy, as well as the India's security and defense paradigm. You can also talk about the ethics into the international relation. Here it shows that how a leadership, despite the country that doesn't have that much military power, can exert its moral power. So this is you can use it in a lot of area. This is very important. So this was the reaction. This article is into the context of the reaction of the test from the US, and the name of that test or a weapon test was the nuclear Castle Bravo. Okay, and it was extremely powerful nuclear test, a nuclear bomb. So here in the parliament, Prime Minister Nehru gave a speech and asked for the global communities that there should be a standstill agreement on the test of the nuclear weapon. Okay. And after that, we will see that the Jawaharlal Nehru, he was using the different global platform for the advocacy of this ban on the test of the nuclear weapons. And in the last, it was resulted into the partial ban treaty that is known as the partial test ban treaty. And it was signed into the 1966, and India is also signatory of that. So here it is the countries, the green shows those countries that are the signatory and they have ratified. Yellow shows only those countries who just have the sign but has not ratified. What is the difference between the ratified and the sign? Means the executive sign, after that ratification is done by the legislature of the country. Like in India, it is the parliament that ratify that we accept. Just executive action is known as the sign. Okay. So India has signed as well as ratified. Same India as in this article, it is given that India was the 4th country to sign this. Okay. So what is the main content? This treaty banned the nuclear weapon test into the atmosphere, means into the space, also on the ground, on the earth, and into the water. But it doesn't mention of the underground stage. So it allows the underground test. So please be very careful. This partial test ban treaty doesn't ban the complete test, but it allows the underground test. It ban the test on the atmosphere, in the water, as well as on the ground, but the below the ground you can do, because it was considered that it is very difficult to find that there is the underground test. Second is that it is within the confined area of that country, and it is not going to harm that much. And later it was found that okay, even underground test also harms a lot. Okay. So as per the standstill agreement, the demand from the Nehru, it was asked that please immediately put a moratorium on the any of the test. Then it was asked from the United Nations Disarmament Commission to please create a short-term and a long-term strategy to disarmament, reduce the nuclear weapon as well as eliminate the nuclear weapon. Besides that, it was asked from the United Nations to please disclose the impact of the nuclear weapon, and so that people will know that what are the harmful impact, and that's why there will be the pressure from the people and the yes population of that country to give up this nuclear weapon strategy and any of such plan for the increase the number of the nuclear weapon. Okay. So here the calling on the nation to recognize the global threat posed by the nuclear weapon. Okay. So make the disarmament a global issue. That's why we can consider that the Nehru leadership, it made this disarmament of the nuclear weapon at the global issue, and this is the first victory of the India's moral force. Okay. So we know that the Nehru also organized the conference of the scientists in 1954, and the main issue was that what is the issue related to the energy and nuclear explosion. Okay. So what is the moral force? We know that at that particular time in 1953, when the speech was made, at that particular time there was no clear-cut emergence of the non-alignment movement, and NAM was not there because NAM was started particularly from the Bandung conference, and we know that this Bandung conference that took place later into the 1961. Okay. Here we can see that it was the pragmatic decision of the Nehru. Nehru wanted to develop India economically because there was a lot of population that was under the poverty and the hunger. We wanted to build a nation. We were facing a lot of internal security threat. There was the demand of the so many internal separatist states, secession from the India. For example, there was the demand from the Kashmir, Punjab, Hyderabad, Tamil Nadu, all they wanted to make a separate nation, Travancore, Junagadh. There were a lot of such demand, and there was the pressure, and that's why Nehru wanted to focus on the resolving this issue, work for the development of the industry so that people can get the job, and after that they can develop. India as a nation in the economic area and the social area develop. We don't wanted to invest all our money into the nuclear and military weapons. So that's why this was a very thoughtful step. Okay. Beside that, the second plan of the Nehru was that already there was the legislation of the Atomic Energy Act, and there was the advocacy of the nuclear weapon by the Homi Jahangir Baba. Homi Jahangir Baba is known as the father of the nuclear weapon to the India. Nuclear science, who is the father of the nuclear science and the nuclear technology? That is the Homi Jahangir Baba. He was advocating. So Nehru neither discouraged, neither encouraged. He asked that please do all this thing as a plan B when the global level, at the global level, we will not able to pursue the countries for the disarmament. We will have our own plan, like we can produce the energy and weapon as well. So this is the seen as a very much a positive strategy from the Nehru itself and India's diplomacy at the very initial stage, and the moral force of the India shown by a leader that has the capability. So you can use, whenever you are going to give an example of the pragmatic leadership, this example is very much effective. Okay, so ethical standard, morality at the global stage India has shown. So this is a very good case study. So this is all about from this news, and you can use this news in this manner. So already most of the relevant news that is relevant for the UPSC and state pieces we have covered. Now here we will conclude our session. Thank you for joining the session. All the best. Jai Hind.